Hello everyone, thank you so much for being here. I'm Lisa Arana, and for today's Assemble This video, we are playing with a brand new Unity Stamp Company background stamp. It's co-designed with Brutus Monroe, and I have 4 inky ways to really make this background pop with color. I'm starting out with the Tuscan Tile background stamp in my MISTI. I'm going to be doing variations on an ombre kind of technique with inks, starting out with a combo of teals. I'm using some Gina K inks in Tranquil Teal at the top, Blue Lagoon in the middle, and Turquoise Sea at the bottom. This is going to create an ombre variation from light to dark, starting at the top and then down to the bottom. I'm just doing my first layer of inks. I'm being careful not to do my dark color first and then my light, because then I'll kind of contaminate the dark into my light ink pads. So I started with the light color up top, moved to the middle, and then the darkest at the bottom. Now I'm going to come in with another layer, and this is really going to blend all the colors together. I'm using the lightest color of Turquoise Sea at the top half of the stamp. This time it's going to move it lower into the middle color, which was Blue Lagoon. And now I'm taking Blue Lagoon and doing the bottom half of the stamp. And this is going to blend it down a little bit more into the Turquoise Sea. I did add just a hint of Turquoise Sea at the bottom to really make sure that that's nice and dark at the bottom of the background. Perfect, and here is the final look. I would like the gradation of the ombres of the teals. For our next panel, we're going to switch up the colors and the way we apply the ink. This is a trio of colors, again by Gina K. This is light, medium, and dark orchid. I just really love this bright pink. I started with the light color in stripes, diagonal stripes. And I did stamp these twice, so I get a nice solid impression, and it's really nice and vibrant. Next, I'm coming in with the medium and just slightly below the previous stamped color. Again, these are going to blend together, so this is a fun way to add the ombre look, but in a diagonal pattern. I'm just going to stamp that again to make sure I get a nice impression of that medium tone, and then we're going to come in with our dark tone as well and fill in the last of the stripes here. I got a little bit too big in that middle stripe, so I'm just going to wipe it off, no biggie, and then stamp that. I'll be able to fill it in with our darkest color one more time and stamp that, so to fill in any areas that I didn't get the first time. Fun. I really love the look of this diagonal ombre look. Plus, it's a great way to mix up how you use your background. Next, we're going to do a swiping motion from the top to the bottom. This is a trio of light, medium, and dark lilac ink this time. I did the light at the top and swipe down. Now I'm going to come in with the medium from the bottom and swipe the ink up. I like this is almost like a brush stroke look. So I'm just going to pull that up into towards the top of the card and give that a good stamp. See how the impression looks, and I'm pretty happy with that. So I'm going to move on to the dark color, and we're going to do swiping from the bottom again, but only going up maybe a quarter of the panel, and then do some swipes a little bit taller. And this is going to create an ombre, but in a swiped brush stroke type pattern. And here's a look at that one. I really like this one. This might be my favorite. I'm not really sure. I do like them all. And then this is going to be more of a random stamping. Just 2 tones of ink this time. I'm using key lime and grass green. I did a layer of the key lime just in a random smooshing pattern, and then came over the top with the grass green, and we're going to give that a good stamp, see how our impression comes out. kind of missed a spot there. That's why I like the Misty. I can always come back in and give it a good push. Again, I don't want to mix my dark color into my light ink, so I wipe that off and make sure it's dry, and then come in with the key lime one more time in a random pattern. I don't mind if it overlaps with the previous pattern because that's going to create the blend. And then we're going to come in with some more grass green in a different area, a little bit lighter handed, just because I really want the lightness of that key lime to come through. I don't want to cover it too much with all that dark grass green ink. So that's looking pretty good. I think what I'm going to do is just do one overall pass with the key lime. And this is really going to blend everything together and then fill in any areas that I might have missed on the stamp. Perfect. And here's a look at the green. I kind of like this one too. Boy, it's a toss-up between the last one and this one. So let's start building the card, and I'm going to use a couple sentiments from Good Things with Wings front and center stamp set. I stamped the With Sympathy on some copy paper, and then I'm going to use the scalloped and stitch sentiments nesting die. I created a template by die cutting out my panel and placing that around my sentiment so I knew the perfect placement. Put my die cut in, and then I am going to mask off the bottom of that saying because it doesn't quite fit in the die cut, so I'm just focusing on the With Sympathy part, and I'm stamping that down right in the center of that die cut. That little jig makes it super easy for placement. Did the same thing with the Happy Birthday, and this time I'm going to do it in the remaining 3 colors. Now I'm just going to die cut down all our Inky panels using the scalloped and stitched rectangle dies, just taking the best part from the center. And then we're going to start layering everything up. I'm using a white card base for all of the cards, and then I popped up the background with some foam adhesive and then also the sentiment. And I just like the way that this sentiment kind of moved in a vertical direction, just kind of switched things up. Then I added just a little twine bow to the top as my simple little embellishment. Next up, for our orchid card, I pop that up right in the center, and I'm going to pop up that sentiment as well, just with some foam adhesive. And we're going to put that right in the center, kind of the top third of the card. And then for our simple little embellishment, I have some matching enamel dots. Quick and easy. And then for our third card, I am going with a landscape card this time, and putting that sentiment right in the center, and then adding a mix of sequins just for a little bit of movement and shine. For the last card, I contemplated going at an angle, and I really like that, but I wish I would have thought of this before I tacked down my background. I would have liked to trim off the sides so that the sentiment was trimmed to the size of that panel. So I had to change directions, and I'm going to go with the bottom third of that card for that sentiment with a few enamel dots as well. And here are the final cards. I just love how you can use the same background but get different looks with applying your inks in different ways. Thank you so much for creating with me. Be sure to like and subscribe to catch all my video tutorials, and it really helps my little channel grow. I hope you were inspired, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.